Welcome to Roundtable Healing Arts. Here we take a moment to breathe, to connect, and to remember our place as a part of the living earth and her unfolding rhythms. And today we're exploring the medicine wheel, a simple but powerful way of understanding the natural cycles of life, and how recognizing where we are in those cycles can bring surprising clarity to our energy, our decisions, and even the times when life feels confusing or out of rhythm. Many people today feel a quiet sense of disconnection. It makes sense. Life moves quickly, and our days are filled with schedules and notifications and constant activity. And yet, something inside of us often feels out of rhythm. People say things like, I feel tired all the time. I feel stuck. I'm not sure what direction my life's moving in. And for most of human history, people lived much closer to the rhythms of the natural world than we do now. The rising and the setting of the sun, the changing of the seasons, and the phases of the moon all had major impacts on how people lived. And these cycles helped people to understand where they were in the larger pattern of life. But in modern life, many of those signals have faded. And sometimes we feel the effects of that disconnection without fully understanding why. And in many earth-centered traditions, one of the ways that people understood these rhythms was through something called the medicine wheel. And the medicine wheel isn't a religion. It's a way of observing the patterns that already exist in nature and in life. So the wheel represents a cycle, and that cycle is often described through 4 directions, each representing a different phase of life and different kinds of experience. In the East, we look at beginnings. This is the place where the sun rises. We think of East with the springtime, in the early stages of life. This is where ideas are born, where inspiration appears, and where something new begins to take shape. So whenever something is starting in your life, you're standing in the east section of the wheel. The south section represents growth and development, and it's associated with midday, summer, and the energy of learning and expanding. And this is where we gain experience, where we build strength, where life becomes active and expressive. And much of adult life unfolds in the south section of the wheel. The west section represents letting go and transformation, and it's associated with sunset, autumn, and the natural process of release. And this can sometimes be the most challenging part of the cycle, but it's also where deep wisdom and healing often begin. Because when something completes its time, space opens up for something new. And the north represents integration and wisdom, and it's associated with night, winter, and the quiet time when experience becomes understanding. So this is the place of reflection, a place where we gather insight. And from the north, the cycle turns again toward the east, and a new beginning starts to emerge. One of the beautiful insights of the medicine wheel is that life isn't meant to move in a straight line. Instead, it moves in cycles. We have times of beginning, times of growth, times of release, and times of reflection. And when we begin to understand this, something important shifts. So instead of feeling like we're failing when life slows down, we begin to recognize that we may simply be standing in a different place on the wheel. Each direction has its own purpose, and each phase has its own medicine for us. Here at Roundtable Healing Arts, the medicine wheel provides a framework for many of the reflections we explore. Daily earth readings, seasonal teroscopes, and our weekly global healing circle. And all of these practices are simply ways of reconnecting with the rhythms of the earth. And these are the rhythms that earth has always been expressing. So before you go, let me ask you a simple question. Ask yourself, where am I on the wheel right now? Am I beginning something new? Am I growing into something? Am I letting something go? Or am I gathering wisdom from something I've experienced? And sometimes just beginning there and asking that simple question can bring a surprising amount of clarity. So until next time, thank you for coming, and walk gently on the good earth.